Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile, the Awakening's closed beta. It's finally happening. This episode, I'm going to explore Act 4 for the very first time. So, join me as we'll explore together what it's like. This was indeed a boat of some sort. Ah, I can just cross it. Pale blackguard. They don't quite look alive anymore.
Back into the ground with you.
Oh wow, this is some sort of elemental that's shooting elemental attacks. Jeweler's Orb, I approve. Flying moth things? Vultures. They look like maggots with wings. See, yep, we're on that. Don't think the blackguards were undead in Act 3, were they? I think they were just regular old humanoids that just happened to be on the wrong side of my bow. This sort of kind of makes you wonder what happened to the blackguards that are undead now. Well, I suspect getting to the town and talking to NPCs is going to reveal some of that. And the NPCs should have voice acting. So that's something that wasn't in there before the wipe. It should be in there since the wipe. So my first experience ought to be better now because it will actually be voice acted. This is a very, very long way. Ah, Maelstrom. And a blue vulture. Here. Explode. Impure archers. They look interesting. They're undead, but they have some kind of... Is that a thing on their head? Or is it just a really weird mask that he got on? That's one of the interesting things about Path of Exile. The story, it's just so, and the setting is just so utterly weird that the standard fantasy cliches usually don't apply. So anything can happen. Which is nice and refreshing. That's a pretty big pack of vultures. Counting about 8 or so of them in total. No, okay. Shadow arrows. It's interesting that you can be on both sides of the aqueduct. It does make you wonder, if I'm on this side of the aqueduct, what am I missing out on the other side of the aqueduct? Except for dead ends, seriously? I'm not a big fan of that. Can I... Okay, I can't blink arrow that way. Oh, I can blink arrow this way. I kind of regret blink arrowing this way. Let's file this. Carpet bombing! It works. I really like how the Val burning arrow just leave really big black scorch marks on the floor. So oh, that's actually a 4 link, but I already got something better. So I might as well just bring it and just roll it later or something. We'll see. Yes, this is the end? No. Wow. The 100-foot shadow! This is a really disturbing vulture. Okay. He's back. So his strategy seems to be he's trying to crush me. Well, let's not get in range. Yeah, exactly, for that reason. But and we shot the disgusting maggot turkey vulture thing. Shot him dead. Put me. But that was an interesting encounter, just trying to squash me rather than using some combination of skills. Jeweler orb. So I'm wondering if for some runs instead of infinite ledge we will be getting infinite aqueducts. Because it's a really nice and long and stretched level. Right, so the path really does continue on both sides of the road, so you just have to pick and choose. So they that, they just don't know it yet. I think they balanced the vultures in terms of damage by just not giving them special attacks. They just peck at you or something, and that's why their packs are larger, to just turn into something more of a swarm enemy rather than enemies that are dangerous by themselves. Hello. Chronophage! I still haven't figured out what they do, except have a besides just having a cool name or modifier thing. What? If you look down, there's actually just small peaks of rock. Lots of mist. It's also kind of interesting that there's just lots of boats in the aqueduct. This is a huge aqueduct. And we seem to have reached an end of some sort. Bamboo bridge. And Highgate. We found this city. Interesting. It's a bit of a, what is it, Japanese, Chinese inspiration with the atmosphere.
We opened the gates to you for two reasons only: dominance and piety. They made themselves our enemies. You made them dead. Now, Oyan believes there is a third reason. The beast is our enemy. Perhaps you can make it dead as well.
Oh.
We opened the... This land is a wounded animal. Its torn flesh infected by nightmare. Before you put this animal out of its misery, be sure, Ranger, to give thought to those who live on its back.
Okay. Cryptic as ever.
Oyan has ordered me to help you, to trade with you. I have risked much to gather weapons and armor for this Akara. I've scavenged on the fringes of Vol's encampment and scouted the dead city. Let us see if you can offer any value in return.
So, we can sell things here. So in the usual style, for every question you had, you get 2 cryptic half answers in return that only lead to more questions. So Kira is the weapons vendor, it seems. And this just the regular fare, isn't it, with gear. I think there was a new type of items, but that's probably the end game items that I'm just not high enough level yet to use. Jeweler's orb. Yep. And just for now, just keep this one here. To the dried lake. Okay, so there's one exit down there. Then this is back to the aqueduct, and there's non-interactable NPCs over there. Let's see, Petaris and Vanya.
It's one thing to watch in awe as the she-wolf hunts, quite another to invite her to share your campfire. Wouldn't you agree, Ranger?
No, she wouldn't, Vanya, and neither do I.
We both saw what she did in summer.
And we both know that Piety and the rest had it coming.
Fine, Petaris. Fine.
What? The currency vendor. The last tab for the gems is still locked, probably because I have to complete some quests yet to actually add gems to the tab.
My grandfather was a captain in the Ebony Legion. My father too, and me. Just following the path that had been laid out for me.
Until you met me.
Yes, until I met the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen.
Behind bars. An exile waiting to become an experiment. Not quite how I imagined meeting the man of my dreams.
I realized then that I wasn't part of the Ebony Legion anymore. I'd become a blackguard like every other damned legionnaire in San, taking orders from a madman.
Petaris freed me and led us here.
I'd heard about the Marrakets from those few legionnaires who survived the assault on Highgate.
And I talked them into harboring us.
Vanya can be very persuasive when she wants.
I like the dynamic between them.
Kira is a racist bully with a
Wow.
fancy hair crest of hers stuck so far up her
Come
up.
on, Vanya. She's a warrior. It's not her job to be nice. It's her job to defend...
Look all lithe and sweaty when you're watching her train. That's the only job you're interested in.
I'm studying the Marraketh fighting style.
Sure you are, sweetie. We've a few bits and pieces lying about that might help with what's to come.
Bits and pieces. I risked my neck to salvage those artifacts.
I know, sweetie, and I really appreciate your artifacts.
You didn't say that when I brought them in. You said, is that all?
You'd been gone for ages.
And you think you could do a quicker job?
Yes, if you'd let me, yes.
No. Not for all the jewellery in the world. What if I lost you?
Okay, I'm sorry. We have charms and regalia sourced at great risk from some of the most dangerous places in Rayclast. Better?
Yes, thank you.
I like this. Okay, the beast. Yes, the mythical beast.
I heard of the beast before coming here. Piety talked about it. I suppose she saw no point in keeping secrets from the people she was planning to murder.
I'm so sorry, Vanya.
God, it's not your fault, Pataris. But Piety used to say that the beast was the source of her power. How she managed to turn poor men and women into those... things. She kept using a phrase. What was it?
Universal transmogrification. I heard her assistants talk about it too.
The power to change the world into anything you like.
Bloody scary power in the hands of someone like Piety.
Bloody scary powerful stop.
Yep. Bloody
See.
scary power. Full stop. A seal, that looks something, but I see some more NPCs. I'm just going to talk to all the NPCs. I just want to hear all the dialogue. Hey, Lady Diala!
The time has come, not a cockroach, to crawl up into the bowels of this nightmare, traverse its innards, and rip out its corrupted heart. Oyun will help us. Go on now. Hobnob with the Marraketh matriarch. Learn what needs to be learned, and quickly. There's a filthy darkness down in that mountain, and it's reeking with impatience to meet you. By
Although we two were born lands and cultures apart, I recognize a woman in kind. A woman who fights not only for her own survival, but for the survival of the wilderness she calls home. Yet you are not bound like us to the thoughts and habits of tradition. That is why you will kill the beast within the mountain. Lady Diala has told me this. She has much faith in you, Ranger. The question is, can we Marraketh share in her faith? Sakema Deshret sealed the mines, trapped the nightmare within its black den. The beast should never have been imprisoned. The beast should have been destroyed, yet for all her ferocity, it seemed that Deshret lacked the courage to do so. And now, after 2 centuries guarding this hole in the ground, this Akara lacks the strength. But you are not Deshret, and you are not one of us. You will succeed where we have failed. Deshret's banner will break the seal and open the mines. It was taken from her when she fell to Vol, the Brittle Emperor. Take the stairs to the southwest. Descend to the dried lake. You shall have no trouble finding the Brittle Emperor. You'll smell him before you see him. Bring Deshret's banner home, and you will be free to pass into the darkness as you wish.
Okay. So that's a couple more answers. And now we know we have to go to the dried lake to get the banner, to get into the mines, to kill the beast.
The Marraketh once stood united under Deshret's banner. That was before the plagues, the tempests, the corruption. Deshret rode here with this Akara, the Piato, to put an end to the beast's curse. And upon the very threshold of the darkness, she faltered. Perhaps she saw that King Kalm had gone there before her and not returned. Or perhaps the nightmare simply overcame Deshret's seemingly indomitable courage. Either way, she chose not to ride into the mountain to slay the beast. She closed and sealed the mines and committed this Akara to Highgate's guardianship. The tempests, the plagues, they passed. Of their own accord,
or because of Deshret's seal, we do not know. But what I do know is this. When Deshret vowed to watch over these mines, she simply traded one curse for another.
Next up, Vol.
Vol and his unmen have dipped their fleshless claws into the lifeblood of the Marraketh since the day this Akara tethered its roer here. Such is the way with men of war. Remove their tongues, yet still they thirst for blood. Remove their bellies, yet still they hunger for battle. Remove their manhood, yet still they lust for conquest.
It's a very elaborate way to say insatiable.
I will make allies of whomever I deem useful. We have observed the actions of both Blackguard and Exile, and it is Pitaris and Vanya who give meaning to those actions. This Akara has not mixed with other than its own for over 200 years. The outside world has now discovered us, so it is time that we discovered it. Kira has the blood of Deshret in her veins, and the bonds of Deshret in her mind. Her loyalty to her Akara is admirable. Her loyalty to the past is not. Diala wishes the beast dead. But why? Why would a nightmare wish to kill a nightmare? A question of great interest, yet little importance. It does not matter why the sun rises and sets, as long as it continues to do so. Our hopes are with you.
Okay, so that explains a little bit.
Can't see why I'd want to do that here.
Let's see. Okay, so I can't blink down. I have to walk around via the center, I suppose. Just gonna. Don't think we can do much with this at the moment. No, it's blocked by Desert Shield. Okay. Okay, close over here. A waypoint. So, the entire act seems centered around the mountain. This is probably the dried lake that we have to go to. Assuming there's probably a side area or two. Make it a bit more interesting. Tasuni.
You have come to Tasuni, the augur of lost dreams. I see into the gloom. I hear whispers of trembling heart and blackened soul. If you seek enlightenment, find a torch. If you seek to understand the nightmare, I can help you feel your way through the darkness. Yours is a lonely existence, Ranger. The journey of the one natural beast left to this land. The corrupted wilderness rejects your love, and the corrupted creatures continue to fall to your rage.
Yeah, he really does sound like a monk.
The Marraketh are stranded in the sandstorm of reflection and regret. We look to El Sakemma to lead us out. Yet the sandstorm is all she knows. She needs me. Her eyes and ears in the darkness. But she will never comprehend my gifts. Diala has the form of a woman. Yet the substance is 1 part corruption and 9 parts death. One day soon, you will see how lifeless she truly is.
Is that foreshadowing of a boss fight?
Keela rides more swiftly and strikes more truly than any other Dakara here. If only she could learn to think as swiftly as she rides, and speak as truly as she strikes. Better and worse are judged not on the talents one prizes, but the talents one needs.
Also just really enjoying the background sound. There's the birds and the water. Sounds like there's a waterfall nearby. It's a really nice atmosphere.
Pitaris and Vanya, 2 mouths that speak from one mind. When together, they express some quite interesting thoughts. When apart, well, half a thought isn't really even a thought, is it? The Marakath speak of his betrayal, but Vo did what he thought was necessary to destroy the beast. Now he wonders the desiccation, tortured as much by his failure as by nightmare. The Red Sakemma was the woman who forged what it meant to be Marakath. A people united, strong. It was Deshret who lit the fires in the hearts of women and loins of men. When she fell, so did the pride of the Marakath. We've been falling ever since. Go.
Okay, I think that was all the NPCs here. And this is also a nice point to end this episode. So, I hope you've enjoyed the first look at Act 4. I'm just gonna continue straight on into the dried lake, so I'll see you next episode. Please hit the like button if you like it, subscribe if you want to stay up to date. And with that, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.